Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of Paul's Asian Adventure. And in this episode, I wanted to cover the question that I get the most, and that is the following: when will the Philippines open up? Now, I understand why this question gets asked a lot because so many people want to come here and they want to enjoy the Philippines. I've spoken to many of you all, and I know you can hardly wait to retire, and maybe you've sold all your stuff and you're just waiting to move. So I will tell you my theory, and again, it's just a theory. I have no inside information, but I base it on logic and see what's going on around here. I personally think that the Philippines will open up third or fourth quarter of this year. Now, I've heard many people say they don't think it'll open up before 2022. I'll tell you the main two reasons I think it will open up before 2022. One is the economy, and one and two are not in a specific orders of importance, but one is the economy. The economy here is really bad. You walk everywhere, you see shops that are closed, and the shops that are open, restaurants that are open, there's just a limited amount of customers. It's not like it was pre-pandemic. So those restaurants, shops, the malls, they're all really struggling. They're hanging on with barely hanging on. Even you go into supermarkets, some of the upscale supermarkets, there's less people. So everybody is struggling, okay, trying to hold it together. So the government must know this, and there must be pressure from all these businesses to open up. There has to be. Think about hotels. Think about condo owners. Another thing is the economy will go from bad to worse to really bad, because you think about all these condos that are owned by OFWs that have borrowed money because maybe they could afford to buy one condo cash down, but some of them buy two, three, and borrow money and then rent it out through Airbnb. Well, now there's no customers, so now they're digging into their reserves, and sooner or later the reserves start running out, and then the bank doesn't get paid, and we know how that goes. When the bank doesn't get money, we know how that goes. So it's a bad circle to be in, this downward trend, and the government knows it, and they know they have to do something. So I'm sure they're watching um, other countries such as Thailand. What is Thailand doing? If Thailand starts opening up and there's not an issue, I don't see why the Philippines wouldn't. I mean, the other thing is the election next year. Um, I mean, politicians, when they look at the economy and they see how bad the economy is, and they see how angry people are about losing their jobs and losing their business, or on the verge of losing their business because of all these rules and regulations that keep changing week after week after week, well, you know they're going to lose support from the businesses, the politicians. So once they start losing support there, then they start losing support from people, and so on and so on. They're not going to get re-elected. And people might have a short memory, but when it comes to their livelihood, I think they have a long memory. So there's that, and I think politicians have realized they have to do something, and they have started doing it. That's why Duterte said that there will be no more lockdowns. And even though some mayors have fought it and starting to lock down, I have a feeling those mayors are going to get thrown out. So there's that. So it's the election and the economy, and I just I just don't see how the Philippines can stay shut down for much longer, because not not only is the economy hit bad, but the tax revenue for the government is much lower. Think about it. No hotels paying very little tax, resorts paying very little tax, all these businesses that rely on tourism paying very little tax, even supermarkets that had a percentage of their revenue from foreigners are paying less taxes. So all that means less tax revenue for the government, but it's also more expenses. All these checkpoints, all these police that are at all these checkpoints, that cost money. The military going out all the time costs money. All that is costing money, and so they have a much higher expense and much less revenue. And I know the Philippines has borrowed money to try to keep it afloat, but that money is running out. So something has to be done, and I think opening it up, soft open, like I mentioned, meaning that the countries with high numbers of percentage of vaccinated people and low number of COVID will probably be allowed in while others won't. So, and you look at countries like the US and places like Europe, how fast we're vaccinating people. I don't think it'll be long before 70, 80, 90% of the population is vaccinated. So at that point, there's really no reason for the Philippines to stay closed for people from those countries, unless there's new strands of COVID that the vaccines don't work against. So, but if that's the case, there'll be new strands every year. It's like the flu, just more deadlier, right? So if you say you can't travel because of new strands, that means everything will stay closed forever. So anyway, there's that. So again, I think third quarter or fourth quarter, I really do. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong and I meet up with you, I'll buy you a coffee. But yeah, so that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So based on what I've seen here, based on logic and based on the news, that's kind of what I've come up with, third or fourth quarter. Do I have any inside information? No. Do I know more than the next man? No. But you're asking me, so I'm telling you my opinion based on what I just said. So with that, I finish it up here. I told you it would be a short video, but please, if you enjoyed this video and you've enjoyed my other videos, go ahead and subscribe. Then you'll get notified when there is a video, and if you hit the bell notification, you'll actually get a notification on your phone. So the other thing is, if you share my video, it helps me on the YouTube algorithm, and of course liking and comment helps a lot. So thank you to all you guys that do that, and see you on the next video, and take care. Bye bye.